Hello guys, so welcome to today's show. My name is CHUKS and you're on GFL TV, the home of football. So if today is the first time we see our program for here, we will bring you the latest Arsenal news updates as they drop all over the world. So for now, I'm gonna start with today's morning show. Alright, so Oliver Glasner will be the coach of Crystal Palace. He don't do a press conference and he has been talking tough. He has been talking so many things. Baba they talk say then go show Arsenal who them be. We'll show who we are at Arsenal. When you look at the Crystal Palace official website, you see the story. Glasner, we will go there to show our style. Now, when you read the entirety of the reports from Crystal Palace, the Palace manager admitted the fixture list had presented a challenge, but explains why bad week could not impact his players' approach for the trip to the Emirates Stadium. Now, I asked the players today in the meeting, he said, my approach is pretty clear, but it's not important. My approach, nothing changes for me tomorrow because I can't play, I'm the manager. It's the player's approach that is important. If somebody believes that he has to save his energy for Saturday, don't say Saturday. Crystal Palace go play Aston Villa. So many players now will look that match as more important than this Arsenal match. Some people no go want put body for some kind tackles. Again, based on say that match na semi-final for cup. So some people go want reserve themselves so that they go fit play that match. So the manager is saying, if there is anybody that is thinking, I want to save my energy for Saturday, we will have no chance to win this game against Arsenal. It's quite simple. But they said no. So the players say, no, coach here, nothing. We'll put our energy. We will go there to show our style, to show our identity, to show who we are, giving it our best. We'll give the answer tomorrow because it's quite easy to talk about it. Even Chris Whitley, will be one of the Arsenal correspondents, carried the same story. But the thing is, I like the fact say they themselves get something at stake. Make I know like they don't go too poor body. Even the coach talking yesterday say they go rest some players. If now you imagine say you be Bukayo Saka, you go to it just be like when we want play Real Madrid. I think we played one tough match. Maybe say as I think it was Everton, I will be that safe. Where Arsenal players know the two people, but the Bukayo Saka self no do really involve for that match because everybody mind Real Madrid. Nobody want get injury for Real Madrid. Now so you go be for this Crystal Palace players. Nobody. Arsenal na your Ghana, so when they follow their fight, get first leg, go to the end, that'll be like 5-0, 5-1. So what's the point? Why should I go and be killing myself against Arsenal, who be our Oga? You get, even if they lose 100-0 against Arsenal, nobody will bat an eye. It's a normal level, you get. So they're not going to want to risk it. Now, we can't even they hear, according to the London Evening Standard, that Oliver Glasner reveals that Crystal Palace actually approached the FA. Say the FA postponed the Arsenal match. Why? Because they say it's too day close to Saturday. Imagine playing on Wednesday when you have an important match on Saturday and the people where you want play against on Saturday, they already play on Tuesday. Which means them go get 24-hour advantage of resting where you know go get. So they're going to feel say it don't really make sense. So I beg FA, help us move this match. We can still play and later. But you know, say based on saying that like 5 matches remain now, if we play this one and 4 matches don't remain. So FA don't want a situation whereby everybody go down play maybe 36 games, we'll come all we will play 35, they'll come they look for space where they will take crates to play this match. And if you know they, and you know say the league must end the same time for everybody. Now the same thing they do La Liga don't want to listen to waiting back at the talk or they just have shift our game or help us give us this favorable time. They don't want to listen to those type of arguments. So, in fact, I just heard this one this morning when I was conducting research that Oliver Glasner has revealed that the Premier League rejected Crystal Palace's request to have their match against Arsenal moved. Now, the Eagles visit Emirates Stadium on Wednesday night, which is today, meaning they have 1 day fewer rest than Aston Villa, who are away at Manchester City on Tuesday, that was yesterday, to prepare for Saturday's FA Cup semi-final tie between the clubs at Wembley. So you don't see their reasoning, but the FA already strike and down saying nothing. When I go play on a game, 3 days is enough. After all, people like Arsenal, Man City, and they used to play every 3 days, so get used to it. Now, away from that, so we're going to look at the game where Arsenal gets to play today. But today match now still important game because of the title the top 5 race is still quite important. Now, Arsenal vs Crystal Palace, this match is going to be holding at the Emirates Stadium. So, we could check the head-to-head where Arsenal and Crystal Palace get at the Emirates Stadium. When you look at the last 5 games that have been played at the Emirates Stadium, you see that Arsenal won 2 and drew 3. For you to say Crystal Palace, I don't know, sometimes if you don't enter their body, they will collect draw for our hand. Now, the last time we played here, before this today own, Crystal Palace chopped 5-0. Before then, 4-1. Before they said the 2-2, 0-0, and 2-2. Now, for the Arsenal websites, they can bring out some facts and statistics about this particular match. So they say we have won our last 5 Premier League games against Crystal Palace, netting exactly 5 goals in both of the last 2 times so we don't play against them. That's one anyway. Now, we have lost just 1 out of last 16 Premier League London derbies, with that defeat coming against West Ham in February. Because when it comes to, because you know this is a London derby, you get, because they be London team, who's have to be London team. Now, Crystal Palace have won just 3 Premier League London derbies this season. Last winning more in a single top flight campaign in 1990, they won 5. Then they have also won their last 2 away in the capital. Now, we are unbeaten in our last 42 home Premier League games, where we have scored the first goal. I don't know this one. No. Look at repeat them again. We are unbeaten in our last 42 home Premier League games where we say now we first score. You get the last time we will lose. Now 2-1 we lose against Manchester City in 2022. This is a very, very remarkable record. Which means if we play for home, anything because just score back, just kind of for mind say losing no fully again. Losing no day. That's what the statistics means. Unless history is about to be rewritten. For me, I think this history will be kept, will maintain status quo. Now, when they even a year say Gabriel Martinelli has scored more Premier League goals against Crystal Palace, 6 in 9 games, than he has against any other side, which means Gabriel Martinelli loves to play against Crystal Palace. He's looking to score in 3 consecutive appearances in all competitions for the first time since March 2023. Now, Declan Rice has had a hand in 7 goals in his last 8 appearances at the Emirates Stadium. So these are very sweet stats that we are seeing. Now, away from that, Michael Salisbury, 9 will be the referee. We will just saddled with the responsibility of officiating this particular game. So it will make a whole lot of sense. I just hope there are no controversial calls. See, everything go well in our own favor. This match, no man. We're supposed to win it because when you look at what happened yesterday, surprisingly, you get, or we like to say miraculously, Man City beat Aston Villa 2-1. I watched the match. Aston Villa had a lot of chances to bury this game. I don't just know. They had the most XG when it comes to goal expected. They had higher XG than Man City. Even though Man City played at the Etihad. Like, I don't just know how Rashford missed a lot of chances because they had to rest Watkins because of that semi-final match. So I don't just know why they miss point like that. So when you look at the table, you will see say Man City is on the 3rd now. So it will be a tall order for Aston Villa to actually make the top 5. You know they're impossible, but you know they're easy. Now look at the way Pep Guardiola celebrated this winning goal. You get the guy celebrating like mad. In fact, for social media, the thing got the cash fire. People gonna ask, say, how do you win the treble or win the league 4 times back to back? And now you are celebrating top 4. Like, how? For you to know how difficult this Premier League day. I remember when Arsenal they get top 4, people will say that top 4 be our own title, and top 4 will they celebrate. Look at Pep celebrating making top 4. Pep don't use the man talk and say this year, from now to the end of the season, every game is going to be like a final. They want to ensure that this top 4 they secure it. Very like they secure it. Look at a tale of 2 stories. In one part, you are seeing happiness, excitement, basking in the euphoria of the game. In another end, you are seeing misery. You are seeing sadness. That is what football gives you. ESPN pictured this pattern. In fact, this picture tells so much story. You get, they talk about pictorial story. Now be this is a prime example. Look at Unai Emery, very sad, misery, disappointed. Look at Pep, very happy, excited. I watched the match. For me, I feel Aston Villa should have won the game. They should have won the game. That's just the way I see it. All right, away from that, let's bring you a message from one of our sponsors, Mr. Anayo, who's a real estate agent. So he has 14 plots of land for sale at Nora Scott's Luxury Estate in Ohia Igbelu, Rubber Estate at the back of airports in Abara Eche, in the local government area of River State. So they have 6 plots of land that's together, 4 plots together, 3 plots together, and 1 plot standing alone. So it's 1.2 million per plot. And if you want to reach out to Mr. Anayo, it's 08032765227 or 08119329922. Like I said, if you're interested, do give them a call. Now, Fabrizio Romano posts this iconic picture, and the thing when they carry me go down to memory lane. Imagine a side that has this type of quality in their first 11. You are looking at Kaka, you are looking at Ronaldo de Lima, you are looking at Ronaldinho, you are looking at Adriano. At least I saw them playing. Now part of my own history. You get players say they mention their name. I go say, I don't see this one play. Maybe at this small that time. But look at me, I see. You get people for this community. They say they feel no see these 4 people playing. You're not gonna know what to miss. Like I see at least. I see Kaka for AC Milan. I see them for Brazil. Now when Brazil the odds, Brazil them. Brazil the odds that year again. So I just as Fabrizio Romano post the picture, I say, make I see post and make our remainings the memory lane, man. It's amazing. Now away from that, all right. So Charles Watts will be one of the Arsenal correspondents. So he can give us like Thomas Partey updates. So now when they ask whether there's progress, you talk about what Arteta first talk. Say yes, they are discussing. Saying Andrea Berta they handle the story. Now Charles Watts want to give his own take. Because say as of now, formal talks between Arsenal and Partey have not begun. Although there is growing feelings from the players' camp that the club could be willing to discuss a new deal in the coming weeks. Yes, that's positive news. So the Ghana international is understood to be happy and settled in London with his family. And whilst there is interest in him from the likes of Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Juventus, he would be open to discussing a contract extension. Yes, when I saw this, I did very, very happy. Say yes, at least Arsenal they think towards that direction, because with what Partey do this season, it will make sense when they give him 1 year or 2 years. If to say maybe Partey continue in injury level this season, then I think it will be understandable if they don't want to give him a new contract. But based on his performances, come on, he has to be rewarded. At least 1 year, if nothing, at least 1 year with another year to be extended, depending on how he perform. Now, when you look at the way the Daily Mail, they report this match won't play against Crystal Palace, then call the talk say Arsenal won't use this Crystal Palace match as a dress rehearsal for the match they go play against PSG. Because when you look at the EPL, PSG are one of the teams they say, then in fact they dine on fast breaks. They are a counter-attacking side. So and they talk about PSG as counter kings. Because when you look at the PSG, look at this picture first. When you look at the PSG setup, PSG have a lot of explosive players. Kvaratskhelia is explosive. Desiree Doué is explosive. Bakola explosive. Dembele explosive. Hakimi down the flanks explosive. So they bombard you with pace. That's why when you play against PSG, any small space you give them, back, they don't reach your boss 18. So, but me, I no fear, because Madrid self they explosive. Mbappe, Vinicius, these are explosive players. So we are used to it. In the EPL, Salah, we are used to all this explosive nature of players. So me, I know the fear. So that's why I say, in fact, when you look at the entirety of this particular report put out by the Daily Mail, they say preparing for the counter kings. Few sides are as devastating on the counter attack as PSG. The French side needed just 4 passes in their second leg against Aston Villa to go from one penalty area to another for rampaging football. I don't even mention Nuno Mendes is also explosive to put them 2-0 up against Aston Villa. That's how good they are on the counter attack. Now, Crystal Palace may not carry the same glamour, not set up in the same system, but there are still similarities between the two for Arteta to use as a handy dress run for next week. Oliver Glasner's side sits in the top 6 for what statisticians, Opta, call fast breaks in the Premier League this season, and only Liverpool, Newcastle, and Villa have had more shots from fast breaks in a single match than Crystal Palace. manage against Villa themselves. So you don't see why this is the perfect match that we have to look at for PSG. Their wits come from the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Udwe, Achraf Hakimi, Dembele, and co. So I think the story is spot on. I really love the story while I was reading it. It was exciting to read. So I think we are used to covering all this things. We are not the best defensive side in the EPL for no reason. It is for a reason. And part of all these things, you go take them into cognizance when you analyze games like this. So I don't think there's anything for Arsenal fans to be worried about. Now, I was watching this interview section Sky Sports did with Julian Timber, and they were asking him of Lewis-Skelly. Baba say, "Chai, say this boy, the boy they play more than in age. Say even him, maybe say him come from Ajax, him breaking through from the academy. Say, you know they're as good as this guy when at that age. Say the guy for the field of play is like a lion. He gave so many glowing attributes. He showered Lewis-Skelly with so much encomium. But they very, very happy. Say outside the field of play, the guy is very, very humble, like a small boy. But on the pitch, say look at what he did against Real Madrid. Say the guy they grow from strength to strength. Like it's a blessing to play with him. The kind of they ask him about him, Bukayo Saka say, say Saka is world class. Get all you have to do when you play with Saka. It's easy to play with Saka. All you have to do is just do your job, get it in good positions, and he will handle the rest. You don't get any issue there. All right, let's bring a message from another of our sponsor, Mobile World Associates and Co. Limited. So they are into construction services, dredging, canalization, real estate, and shop protection works. They're also into mechanical and fabrication services and procurement services nationwide. So if you want to reach out to them, you can call them on +234 80 646422 34, and they're located at number 7 Ekeniwo Road, Orazi, opposite St. Stephen's Anglican Church, Port Harcourt. So if you're interested in any of the services, do reach out to them. Now, the biggest news of the day, let me the fact say Oliver Glasner, who's the Crystal Palace manager, is putting out a big statement that they are going to come to the Emirates Stadium and show Arsenal who they are. You get, they want to use this match as a dress rehearsal themselves ahead of the match they go play against Aston Villa on Saturday, which is the semi-final of the FA Cup. So we'll see how everything will be. So my dear Arsenal lovers, we are getting so much value from this podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, and our new community on TikTok. We don't start TikTok, so if you're not with our community on TikTok, we are CHUKS Arsenal on TikTok. All right, guys. So I think it's a fine place for us to call the show an end. So it's like come your way in the evening to give you the evening news. So then, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Now, game out. All right, guys. Ciao.